Good evening guys and welcome to another Football Manager video with me, James, from the Football Manager Whizzkids. Now we're going to be talking about FM16, of course relating it to the current game, FM15, and showing you some players. Now this is about my potential choices of the top 5 best Premier League Wonderkids. Now of course you could include young players like Anthony Martial and the likes of those type of players, but I want to choose players that are not as highly known as him, not as highly valued, and not really involved consistently in the first team really. Players that are sort of just breaking through or not quite broken through yet. So the first one we're going to show you is Dominic Solanka of Chelsea. Currently on loan at Vitesse, of course Chelsea's feeder club for this season. He's the youngest Chelsea player to ever play in the Champions League in a 6-0 win over Maribor last season. Now, this guy scored 41 goals in last season, including in the under-21s, a hat-trick against Liverpool, and that is also including the UEFA Youth League, where he took the league by storm. I believe they won it, and I think they won the league as well, or they won the cup. I'm not 100% sure about that. He's an England under-19 international. A good loan move to Vitesse. He's actually scored 1 goal in 5 games for them, so it'll be a good developing system there. Going to get game time. He's wearing shirt number 9. He's playing alongside his mate, Asaya Brown. But for me, he needs a vast increase on attributes in the game. Now, he's finishing 13. That's probably about right because he is only 16, 17. His pace could be a little bit more. His composure could obviously be a little bit more. Scoring 41 goals. That tells you he's obviously good and composed in front of goal. His teamwork could be a little bit better. I don't think he's as selfish as this game maybe makes out, because his strike partner, I believe, for Chelsea got around 40 goal mark as well. His dribbling could be a bit better, but he's a very confident player from what I've seen. He's a player that is really going to shine, and I think he's got big future at Chelsea. John Terry has talked about him positively himself. Now, this kid for me could be the sole best wonder kid on Football Manager 2016. It's just a shame that he's at Chelsea. You're probably not going to be able to sign him. If you do, it might be a little later when he's not quite as developed as he should, because he's not played games. So for me, in my top 5 wonder kid recommendations in the Premier League, on loan at Vitesse in Holland, is Dominic Solanka of Chelsea. Next up is the number 35 of West Ham. You all know him. He made his debut for West Ham against Arsenal in the defensive midfield position. He can play centre back, or he can play centre mid. It's Reece Oxford. Not currently in the game. I did create him and add him to the Whizzkids database. It looks like, in my opinion, I've been too kind with some of his attributes, but it's quite difficult to get players right when you've not really seen them, but people want them added to the game. So, in my opinion, he's got a big future as a holding midfielder in the Premier League. Of course, as a youngster, believed to have turned down Tottenham, went to West Ham, who of course have a reputation for developing youngsters, and I think he's going to get a lot of game time under Slaven Bilic. It'll be exciting to see him in the game. I think he's going to do very well and could potentially be one of the best holding midfielders in the world on the game over a course of a few years if you develop him right. Get him tutored. Where would you play him? Ball winning midfielder, centre midfielder, defensive midfielder, centre back. Really, he's very versatile, he can play anywhere, but that is Reece Oxford, who I created here but will be on FM16, for me in the top 5 potential wonder kids in the Premier League. The next one is Kelechi Iheanacho. Of course, a lot of people are using him already in Football Manager and have done for a while now, but only since his move from Tay Academy to Man City, after doing well in the World Cup, I think it was, for Nigeria, or the African Cup of Nations for the under-21, something like that. He'd done well on the international stage, got him on trial at Man City, got him a deal, and of course recently scored his first goal for Man City, which was a good tap-in, but showed really good composure and good awareness to get that goal. You do know him on Football Manager, he doesn't quite develop brilliantly if you don't use him yourself, but with those attributes, 14 finishing, 14 pace, and I think his composure needs a good bump by probably around 4 to 5 marks. I'm quite excited to see what this guy can do in real life and on the game. I know he's fantastic, I've used him before, but he really has come to recognition recently For me, he's going to be absolutely incredible on the game next year. I'm a big fan. I will use him. I used him at Red Bull Leipzig on FM16. Absolutely fantastic. I think I used him at Sporting Club de Portugal. I hope the Portuguese guys that follow my YouTube channel give me a little bit of praise there, because they've given me stick over the last couple of videos for referring to him as Sporting Lisbon. But this guy, fantastic for me, an absolute world beater on the game. I'm sure he will be. That's Kelechi Iheanacho of Manchester City and Nigerian international. Next in the top 5 Whizzkids, potential Wonderkids on Football Manager 2016 is Dele Alli. Now, he's got his big move from MK Dons, of course, where he ended up going back on loan to the club. He looks to have fitted into Tottenham, and I think his value will be increased. And although he's got very good stats just now, I think they will be slightly increased. For me, he looks an all-round top player. He looks like he's going to fit in that Spurs squad very well. Somebody that I think will go on to play for England. He's, of course, an England under-21 cap. He's only 18, but it's a good experience for him to be involved in the first team at Spurs, and of course got himself a goal or two, I believe. So he does look good, but I think he'll be even better, and he deserves to be better on Football Manager. Of course, his pal alongside him at centre midfield, that's Spurs' Nabil Bentaleb, could have got a mention here. I showed you Kelechi Iheanacho in the top 5. His mate Patrick Roberts could have got a mention, but he's already fantastic and well known. This guy, of course, is well known, but for me, he's going to take the next step up in terms of attributes and what he develops in. Not used by a human, but in the AI, because a lot of players don't quite reach the potential they do unless they're human controlled. So he slots into the top 5 Whizzkids, potential Premier League Wonderkids on FM16, in my opinion. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jack Grealish, why is he in there? Because everybody knows who he is. For me, good on the game, but unless developed by a human again, he doesn't quite reach that high-end mark. For me, he needs vastly improved on the game. He's a first-team established player at Aston Villa now. Seems to be starting quite a lot, and that 37-match, 5-goal loan stint at Notts County really done himself well. Does he have an attitude problem? Who knows? We're not really see that side of things. We've only seen photos on the internet. But for me, he's good. Potential to become great if human controlled on this game. But AI controlled, I expect him to become even better. Now, he is an Ireland under 21. I believe he's eligible for England. For me, he's going to make that next step. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to look at this and say, oh, Jack Grealish, Dele Alli, players we know. But of course they are. But they're players that really, really need pushed on in the new game, and players that need to become better when they're not human controlled. I missed out a lot of players here in the top 5. 8 Maitland Niles from Arsenal, the new kid Reina, I can't remember his last name, he could have made it in. A few others could have. Adam Armstrong for me, if I wasn't being biased, I think he will make it in. And a few Chelsea players would have made it in. Players from all over. Jan Danda from Liverpool could have made it in. Jordan Rossiter could have made it in. There's a lot of players that obviously I missed out. But I'm saying, for me, these are 5 of the best, in my opinion. Of course, you'll have different opinion to me. They're already good, of course, but they should go on to that next level and be very good. A lot of you will come back to me and say, oh, but I made this guy good. Of course you did, yes. I'm not saying you didn't, but I want to see these players be better for the AI, not have to be controlled to be good, because Jack Grealish, he's not really gone on to become anything special in my games when I've not seen him controlled. So, like a lot of the players on the game, they fizzle out to nothing, they end up becoming free agents and they join lower league clubs and struggle to get back up. But now I think is the time for these players to push on and get better. A lot of players have missed out, so yeah, but these are my top 5, guys, and send me back a message, comment, tell me who you think should be improved, decreased, or potentially in your top 5 Wonderkids in the Premier League. Let me know. That's my top 5. Kelechi Iheanacho, Jack Grealish, Dele Alli, Dominic Solanke and Reece Oxford. Of course, as I say, there's a few more that could have gotten scored. Hector Bellerin, but he's first team established. I know Jack Grealish has done recently, but we're looking for players that are not, in terms of FM15, world beaters as it stands. We missed out a few, as I've said. There are a few others that could have made it. A few Arsenal players could have made it in. Akpom, he could have made it in. He's going to be good on the new game, I think. other players such as the Liverpool, Ryan Kent, I believe it is, Cameron Brannigan. A lot of players, a whole host of players, they could have made it in. Anyway, thanks for checking out the video, guys. That's my top 5 Whizzkids Premier League predictions to become potential Wonderkids. I hope you enjoyed the video. If not, let me know. I'll try to improve. If you do, hit that like button. And thanks for subscribing to the current 382 subscribers. Thank you, take care, and goodbye.